Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I always do that. I always have to do a little testing. Just hold on a moment to get my get a little change up here for a sec. Hello, Haseo. I see you in the chat. Just doing a little change up on my screens and everything. Make sure I have things in their proper place. So, yeah, but I noticed you in chat, bro. What's up? Nice. Hello, hello, there we go. Okay. Good, good, good. Just need to manage some of the stuff. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff to manage. Like for instance, getting it to project onto my large secondary screen. I was able to project my iPad screen, so which is great. So I can look at it superimposed, big screen. I can see it. I can work with it, man. But so far things are looking good, looking up and up. Da 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 da. What we were trying to sing. All right, so this is XP Story Gamers in the office right now. Just reading a book. Trying not to be disturbed, so get out of my office. All right, these XP sign off now. Just kidding. No. Put the book down. Okay, here we go. All right, so in today's news, it's time for me to do my bit of art stream. I know I just did my art stream a few days ago. Now I'm doing the next one. I haven't touched the Watson drawing after I did my little art stream, but I will go back to it to kind of reflect on how I want my Watson to be designed. However I conceptualize it. Because I like my dear Watson. You know, he's really awesome. Yep. So, but once I get like a good final design I want to go for, that will be the official look for Watson. So right now I'm about to trying to share this bit. I think when it comes to the software and tech that I have right now, I think I'm in like a nice, I say fairly good place. Just the mode excellence is being able to go a little further with it, but also, you know, making sure that things that I have are in good mint condition by the time I work this stuff out. So like even today, you know, and this ain't just like, you know, my streaming, it's also other things in my life. Like even before the stream, I read a really good book titled Atomic Habits that was teaching me about, which I've probably mentioned before anyway, but it's still a really good book, helping me understand what makes a good habit, what makes a good healthy habit versus an unhealthy one, and how to set up your life to where you're able to do more good habits than the ones that don't help you, the ones that don't propel you forward in a way. So, it's mainly you're knowing yourself and seeing, well, what is it, the habits that I know that I do day to day that are really good for me, in terms of what who I am, who I see myself as, and what I care about, who I'm becoming. Like, for example, two things I know about myself is I am a healthy person and I'm an organized individual. Often enough, I've had situations where I had the nasty habit of holding on to things that would build up in my room space and would clutter. We've all been there, right? You get a lot of things, you collect objects, things you probably have old, or you might hold on to things and you might have a hard time throwing things away or getting rid of stuff. So your room ends up becoming this mess of a mess of trouble. So it became the decision of no. I'm an organized individual. I'm an organized person. But that's because I see myself as an organized person. If I just say, oh, I'm just trying to be organized, I mean, I could try to be organized, but it's like it's more so like not just trying, but am I an organized person? Am I organized? Do I believe or think that I'm an organized individual, or am I just someone who's just always messy and stuff like that? I had to transition my mind from, oh, I'm this messy individual who just, but I mean, no. I'm an organized person. I keep my places clean, organized, established, so I know where things are easily that I can get to, and so forth. So there are even things in my room that I've actually been able to order to where I know where those things that I need are, and I can get to them. But yeah, it all depends on like my willingness to see myself as that, and then making the decisions. Okay, what am I going to do? Right? What am I going to do that reinforces that? And then carrying out the actions. Yeah, I was trying to post something on my there we go. That's more like it. I think my response would be like if someone were to come in the chat and trying to make like a request or something. I mean, it's just let them know, like, that, like my stream is like, I'm just drawing, like, for one, I'm not taking any requests. I'm not doing any commission work for this kind of stuff that you see me drawing at the moment. That's not what I'm doing commission work for. I don't have a established full commission work set up yet. and mostly I do portraits. Mostly my commission will be more for portraits, but that's for like real people and maybe like a character or two, but that's only if I decide to do that. Right now, I'm just working out the logistics of that. So I think it's just like letting people know right then and there, like, no, I'm not taking any requests, and no, don't be trying to request any NSFW stuff, and don't. And one thing is telling people like, hey, don't come in here trying to demand me to draw something else right here when I'm drawing what is the assignment. Mouser is the assignment. You got it? Mouser's the assignment. Let me come over there and knock you. No, just kidding. Yeah, Mouser. Yeah. Plus, it's not actually the name and make a model of it. That I made up that name because of its resemblance to that, like a mouse in a way. It's just the only name actual name was like a model number, X0209 or something like that. Almost like a serial number, short serial number thing, or code or patent number or whatnot. Yes, but I call it Mouser. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's check and see if I'm able to switch screens well. Let's see if this works. Yes, Mouser, I hear you. That's Mouser talking. Yeah, that was that squeaks. That's what I'm talking about. That's the sound it makes. Likes to make mouse-like sounds. Okay? But it doesn't always mean it's talking. It just tends to make those sounds. Yeah, that's it. It just has a tendency to make those sounds. Ain't that right, Mouser? Ain't that right? It's a little low. Let me see it turn up a little bit. Ain't that right, Mouser? See? You didn't respond to me. Yeah, so. So this is what I have as far as its look is concerned. I got like this, I think this movement is not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little slow though. Slightly slow. But there goes Johnny 5. But yeah, Mouser is the name. So this is just like a beginning concept. So this is what I like to call my little first concept. You can see the kind of mouse face. I got it from you little mousey. Okay, that's where I kind of borrow the face from. This is just my base label, my first concept of Mouser right here. And if this is chilling out, we'll do it. We'll call it an ASMR art drawing stream. Let's do it. Let's do that. I'm just kidding you. But yeah, that's particularly the first concept of Mouser right there. But what I'm gonna do is kind of like do a little of this. Is like Let me bring the other mouse in here. Kind of like, if I move the image over here in the corner, kind of like a corner reference. I'll put it right here. I have seen what drones look like. Like, cause you have like I have like on my phone, I always like looking up it, like I gotta like get like some images, kind of look at it as like, because there's various types of drones. You know, you have drones that you use for photography, photographic purposes, for photography, photograph expressions. You know, people use them. I've seen videos where people use drones and they'll video record with them and, you know, kind of have like a cinematic application. You know, use it to capture video for their vlogs or for their like content. And you got like the photography, you know, and nice getting good pictures from above, you know. Get them in places that you wouldn't normally get them from, like the ground. You get it from the sky, then the ground with the drones. So the drones can help have that effect. Because you have like drones with cameras, you got like drones of mobility, drones of like other purposes. Like you have for commercial purposes, for the consumer. You have the military defense type drones. You got like all types of drones. Speaking of which, it's like, okay, what type of drones exist? Yeah, what type of drones are there? Yeah, so drones can be categorized by their flight mechanisms. I'm sure you can hear me. I think my voice is loud enough, so it should be good. Drones can be categorized by their flight mechanism, including fixed wing, like an airplane. Yeah, there's like the fixed wing airplane looking type drone. You have like rotary wing, single rotor helicopter style, or multi-rotor. And you got the hybrid VTOL vertical takeoff and landing model. You got like what you said, rotary wing drones are further divided by the number of propellers, such as quadcopters, 4 rotors, hexacopters, 6 rotors, and octocopters, 8 rotors. Other distinctions include size, purpose, recreational, commercial, military, and operating environment, terrestrial, aerial, or underwater. Yeah, even underwater. But the fixed wing, they mostly resemble the traditional airplane looking types. So they're like the airplane, yeah, they're like airplanes in a way. And they do require a runway or a catapult for takeoff and landing. And they cannot hover. That's the thing. Rotary wing drones use rotors to create vertical lift and can hover. So you can imagine my Mouser is a hover type. So they're not a fixed wing, they're a hover. They are further categorized by a number of rotters. Now, I don't know how many rotters I want to give, but give mine. I mean, I gave mine 2, but I'm thinking I might give it like maybe 3 or 4. But I have to like really think of the design carefully to kind of get an idea of how I want to approach it. I think I have one in mind right now that involves quadcopter. So like here's one that just came to my mind just a sec. So let me do this. See, I know with creativity you just have fun. So like here's what I'm thinking. Maybe like something like, I don't record this just for records. You know what I mean? Records! You gotta have records. This is information. I gotta keep the files updated. If I don't keep the files updated, I'm just I try to do like rough. I do like a rough graphite type thing, so I can get a little crazy. Me and my creative process on recording. All right, so how are we gonna do this? I'm having fun already. So I'm thinking like there's one here, and then you got the two in the back here. Now I don't know if I want it to be like horizontally like this, and then another in the back like that, with the body like kind of like right here. You know, I could do something like that. You know, maybe push this out a little bit. But it would kind of be weird because then it's like, well, wait, what about the ears, right? Because, you know, I'm thinking like it's a, you know, a mouse kind of design. So I'm like, okay, maybe somewhat. But then I want to be like, okay, well, if I were to look at some, like, let me look at some, because you got the quadcopter and the tricopter. Let me look at some quadcopters. Yeah, there's even 6 copters, so let's see. Ooh, I could make mine a 6 copter. What's it called? Yeah, the hexacopter. I could make mine a hexacopter. Which is funny because this is one's often used for high quality filming, apparently. But then again, I have to really think about how I want this mouse or this drone to function. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of semi-realistic design here. So it's not like this is like, oh, because this is like, you think of science fiction type with the fiction emphasis, because it's like the tense is on the fiction, because it's not like this is meant to be all realistic. So it's like I don't have to worry about trying to make everything about it real. But what I can do is just at least have some kind of idea. Ooh, this looks nice. Have some kind of idea of how I want to approach the type of drone. Ooh, okay, here we go. So that's what a hexacopter, octocopter, and quadcopter look like. I gotta notice you're playing the Phantom X hot sale. Yeah, so the rotary wing single is like a helicopter type, and then you got the fixed wing is aeroplane type, and then now you got like the hexacopter, the tricopter, and the quadcopter. So there's 4, 6, octocopter is 1, 2, 3 is 8. You just switch to it nice. I don't know about I know there's the hybrid, but it's fixed wing hybrid though. It's really interesting. I kind of looked into a little bit about drones, and it was like very interesting to think about or to consider now. But knowing my mouser, it's like it's kind of weird, because it's like you look at drones, it's like, you know, I look at it and be like, you know, ooh, I could have it. That does make, yeah. Because if I'm thinking fantasy, science fiction type looking drone, it'd probably be, because mostly they're gonna have the spinners like horizontal, rather than like a vertical rotor, so to speak. Unless you can you have rotors vertical on a drone? Let's see. Just out of curiosity. Mostly it's horizontal, so. Because that would be like the fantasy side of it. I mean, they can have rotors featured for vertical flights, but I mean, like, I mean, the ears may not even have to be rotors if I don't want to. It could be something else. That's one of the things I can also take into account. So let's see. If I still want to do like a quad, you got this here, just kind of marking things. Also, let me remove this. You got this here. Drawing ASMR. And you know, this could be a 4 or 6 depending on how I go with this. But let's say you have the rotor like right here, right? And it could be like the thing could be like right under, and it can come up like that, or it can be attached kind of like in here, right onto the I keep doing it like this because it's like I just think about the way the face of the mouse looks. Yeah, and it's up to me. I could have it flattened like this, or I can be like up here. You know, something. So I'm just kind of getting like a basic straight concept. Yeah, if it was quad, it'd probably be like this, be back here. And it's like, I mean, these would be the quads would be the same size. They wouldn't be different. So that way it floats up and hovers vertically. It's got to have vertical flight. It's got to hover somehow. So that's why you have these spinners like this. That's what helps it hover and get the vertical flight in the first place. Because most of them have it set up like that. Some might have it almost like at an angle, like at a diagonal angle or something, or maybe a little bit vertical. You know, you could have it like this. And then let's say, well, what if the ears weren't rotors? What if it was like some special antenna thing or something, you know? Something like, and I'm thinking futuristic. Yeah. And it emits some sort of photon light phase or something. You know, it's just me kind of imagining like what kind of look I could give them. But this is like one stuff, and you got like this coming down like this. Kind of almost resembling the eyes in a way. Some kind of design. Let me move this one to the side. So that's one design right there. I'm doing frontal stuff, but I'm just kind of messing around. So that would be like a quad copter type drone. Cool. So we got that one. I want to see if I want to design this one. Now, I don't know if this one would be a try, like 3, maybe like. I came up with a little bit of lore for this little drone buddy on my own. As I kind of do a little sketching, I'll get to it. Try to reformulate it back in my mind what I came up with. It's kind of more like conceptualized lore. A little fun fact, fun trivia about the drone. But let's see. Maybe, well, I wouldn't think like a 6, because that seems like it would be a different kind of. Well, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Maybe. I had an idea in mind, but I'm like, I don't know if that would work. But if it was like, it might be like this. Almost like flying saucer like. It's 1, 2, 3. I mean, these would be further extended out, of course, because they're not going to be that close to it. But they would be attached to it in some way. Like a bald mousy. I don't know, some kind of design right here. This is just, I just making this up. It's some kind of design. Oh, that, okay, that flat. Okay, that looking a little. I don't know. To me, that looking a little too cute right there. It's kind of weird. It's like, is that looking? I'm like, that looking way too cute right there. And there's something about it. Right, whoops. I didn't need to make that. Let's do this. Whenever it pastes, it creates a layer with the pasted item for me. Well, yeah. I'm about to pull out a book and let me go to sleep. And then you go to sleep. And bearing the record. Yeah, I do the symmetry because that's kind of the design. It has that symmetry. Let's see. I just had something in mind. Like, yeah, heated blanket jacket thingy. Nice. Must be very, very comfortable, man. Honestly, I had that. You know, I'd probably already be asleep. I'd probably be out as a light while I'm driving. I'll be like, oh, I'm out of here. And then just be snoring loudly in the middle of the stream. Like, they're like, what's going on? You were drawing. You sleeping? What's happening? Yeah, what's happening? 2 hours later, what? Like, you over here sleeping. You supposed to be straight. What's going on? It's like, oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. I just got this heated blanket. I don't know. Heated blankets, I'm sure, are very, very warm, and you know, especially when it comes to the cold season, obviously. That's what I like doing, the using the rough graphite brush. Allows me to freely just tie it up, like, you know, just put lines freely wherever I want. I don't have to be too concerned about like about how straight lines are or any. I don't even have to worry about that. The so-called rotors in the back are actually at an angle. They look like they're vertically up, but they're actually at a diagonal uh, setting. Once I kind of get a side profile of something, you'll be able to catch on. Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel like the one up here is like the younger brother or sibling, and it's the older one or something. Maybe this is like a rival or something, or Hmm. This one's an interesting one. Let me do another different one just to kind of go a little further, zero in. Where's my water bottle? Oh, that's some good water. You might as well get back to drinking regular water. Making sure I actually... Hey, you know what I'm noticing? My P&G mouth is moving in sync to my voice. That's a good thing. Because I remember the last stream or two, it was like folding. It was just like slow. It was buffered. You know, it was just so slowed. It's slurred. It was like, it wasn't even moving in my voice. Yeah, it was like hardly even moving in my voice last couple of times. It was good. I like it. I think it's because the way I changed my setup, it's probably made it now easier for me to do this. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. Hello. Get that? Yeah, so like a little slight delay, but okay. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, it's like sometimes you have to try to get things back in order. There we go. Okay. Now where's my chat? There we go. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay. Okay. All right. What do we want to do here? It's another one I want to make. Yeah, so just kind of like making. So like I got like 3 different ones so far. I got the other one here. Let me bring that back up and kind of have that one join the rest. It's my first concept, but I'm gonna have it partake with where the rest of them are. Kind of have this one right up here. Kind of just like different like drone looks, and then kind of just. I may not decide on like, oh, like this is the official look right away. I'm just kind of just experimenting and just kind of seeing like, how could I approach my design of this little drone buddy here? Matter of fact, hold up. Where in the world? Let's see if it still works. Where in the world is my coffee, Watson? Boris. Thank you for helping me out. Yeah, Boris is the one helping me with the coffee now. That was Watson, but it's like Boris is helping me. Born a strong cup for moi. Yep, every detective needs fool. Watson says too much caffeine may cause overanalysis. Can never have enough coffee. I need coffee. It's like, of course I need to overanalyze. What you talking about, Watson? It's like, what you talking about, Will? It's like, what you talking about, Watson? Don't boys, don't listen to Watson. You gotta have a lot. I gotta have a lot of caffeine. Let's see. Whoa. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm still trying to think about it. Like, do I want to design like this? But I already got these other looking designs. Honestly, like a very buffed up Mouser right here. And that one means business. I think that's Boris's version of Mouser. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now this is not a rotter. Now it almost funny. It almost looks like a. Now I look at it, that almost like a pig. It's like it's a pig. Yeah, it's almost like a pig version. It could be. It look like it could be a pig or a mouse. It could be either. It's kind of weird, but I look at it. It's like either a pig or a mouse. It's like, which is it? Like if I were to maybe extend this a little bit. Maybe if I was to change this a bit. Sort of. Yeah, it's kind of interesting design. I think it's because of the position of the nose. That's why. The so-called nose. So it'd probably be like... Either way, it almost looks like a mixture of a pig and a mouse. When I was looking at it, I was like, this is like a mixture. I don't know, I still find this one to be really cute. Next to this one over here. Supposed to be some blue phase thing, when I say like it's like because I'm thinking futuristic kind of energy flow drone, like automate, like a very futuristic design kind of way. So when I think of it like this. Let's see if I can make it. If I were to add like a color, like a light blue kind of. Lighten it up a bit. Probably be like this. Whoops. Yeah, some kind of flowing energy or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was kind of where I was going with this too. Gonna have like blue energy kind of flowing right through there. It doesn't have to be rotors. It could be like some kind of antenna with blue energy flowing through it. Some weird antenna thing. It was interesting going through this process. So we're back to like if it were to have 4 legs, right? The rotors. That actually that is kind of cool. Like it would be like as if it were to have 4 legs, but it's the rotors. I mean, they could be small or big or anything, but it's like, yeah, it's like they were. Could be a mixture of ear and whisker in here. Interesting design. Very interesting. I'm gonna do a BRB real quick. Got a BRB. Just have a little break for a minute. Might give me some snacks. Might need to rest a little bit. Maybe use the restroom, stuff like that. But yeah, I will be right back, folks. At least I got like some kind of design flow going here with what I have right now. But we'll continue as soon as I come back. All right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Don't worry. They'll see the true you. Don't worry, Mouser. They'll see the true you. They'll see the true you eventually. All right. Mouser just excited. Have some food with me. These are all looking really nice. Kind of like how this one looks so cute. Oh, really nice. And this one doesn't look too bad itself. And this one's alright. I don't like the little triangle sign, but I don't know, that is. If I would decide, I'd be like looking at like, because this is like the main first one, but you got like, I'm looking at these two right here. This sort of thing. Let me do a couple more little conceptualizings. How's P5X coming along there, Aseo? What's happening? Give me the updates. I want the updates. What's going on? Oh, the Velvet Trials? You say it's frustrating you? Oh boy. Doesn't sound like it's definitely giving you a hard time, that's for sure. Yeah, it sounds like it's giving you a hard time, that's for sure. Got this. I got like a Taco Bell. I had like one taco, but I had this one meal. I forgot what it's called. It's some kind of plate, but it's meant to have more of a sort of like a slightly health mixture of food selected. I mean, it's still Taco Bell, so you can't really say it's completely healthy, but it's actually meant to be like a alternate plant-based or kind of like type of food. Ooh. It's actually really good. Let's see here. This I'm thinking futuristic. Thinking like more stable, less rounded. I mean, I know I have the one that's rounded, so I kind of like the little pyramid like design or semi-pyramid design kind of look. So like maybe something like this. Like that type of chrome top right there. And it come down like that. Just kind of like brings the familiarity to how like what would be like the shape if we were to simplify. Like if I were to like simplify, like if I were to do this right, like, you know, because you got the head looking like this in a way, or like, let's see, I think here's how I can make this a bit more effective. If I were to just like simplify the head of this mouse right here, because, you know, it's got like this kind of top head, it's like this, and it's kind of like rounded like that, right? But if I were to like make it a more pyramid like triangular, yeah, it's like a something like that. So it's kind of like the first design in a way, but came up with other designs to kind of get an idea where I get like a similar look, but just kind of see how I want to change it a bit. But yeah, I think that's how I would do it. So it would be like the first design like I had, but just kind of experiment with that design and see if this is a design I want to go for. I'm going to want to alter it a little bit. Ooh, if I were to futuristic, it'd be like you have this kind of like this, like high, like super high end, almost like alien tech kind of thing. Maybe like a floating gem thing. Because it's like super high tech. Maybe. It's just me kind of like conjuring it up. Maybe have like something like right, like some like design like that or something. Just a detailing. I think you got like I made that on purpose. This is like a basic shape. So if I were to like, I don't know, take some of the ones I know, like let's say I were to, like the two that I did kind of like, let's say I take this one, for instance. I move it under to kind of position it. It's kind of looking close to it in a way. Yeah, it actually looks really close. Yeah, so this is like a close design to how I want to go with this. Like if I were to design it with this in mind, I might like to do this. I take that and I go up here. Let's switch over to this. Now that kind of made me a little bit angry. I'll probably make it like sympathetic looking. Oh, I like how that's looking. Maybe something like that. Just kind of making up what I think that, how if I were to do the nose in a special way, how it'd look. And we have this right here. Take a bite. This just made it more ultra cute. I made it all ultra cute over here. What am I doing? I mean, this might not be the exact look I'll give it, but it's just at least in the game, just kind of conceptualize, getting an idea. I feel like you look a little chill. I feel like the mouse looks a bit chill. Yep, that's right. Yeah, the mouse was getting excited. Hmm. Oh boy. Actually looks not like a warrior type mouse. But yeah, if you notice the lines, that's the detailing on the drones. That's supposed to resemble, like, obviously whiskers in a way. Now, I don't know if I want to give it the 6 rodders that because yeah, it would make it a hexocopter or whatever, or hedrocopter. I'm trying to the name of it. The 6 rotor type drone. I mean, if I want to make it that way, that's fine. But if I want to make it, or I could make it that way, but maybe change the way I have those rodders, maybe. I mean, I just have to think about that. Because I'm also thinking sci-fi, science fiction type. So it's not like it. This is like the typical drone with the rotor propeller thing. It could be like a futuristic type where it has some type of energy flow of its own or something. That's something I have to figure out or think about. It could be the 6, like kind of how I have this one with the antenna. I could have that, or I could have it like this one. Maybe one of these two designs will be one I can borrow from. And there's this one, but I don't know about that one. Let's see here. Come off to the side, it kind of. So I'm kind of like borrowing. It's like, okay, what if I were to use this, you know? I think it's important to always name, gotta rename my layers. So this is the rotter. This will be the, yeah, this will be, well, I'll leave this one out. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I might have the rotters in a different way. I'm not sure. Let me look at some. So maybe since I'm thinking in a futuristic kind of way, instead of it like a propeller type, it might be like a phase type rudders. If that makes sense. Let's see. So instead of like the extended propeller things, like you might still have this circular thing right here. Making it quad. Fine, can max out Janosik Wonder's original persona. Nice. Awesome. Wait, your antenna. Where is this? It's like a energy channeling through it in some way. Yeah, it's like similar looking to my original first concept. Similar looking. Yeah, it's definitely looking to kind of close to how I might approach designing Mouser in a way. I don't know about that diamond up above. Well, I don't know about that. I might just remove that. Yeah, I don't know about trying to edit it. So I want to add a little more to this. Kind of like that little detailing. Yeah, I kind of like the way I added that detailing in there. Yeah, this area might change. I might change that a little bit later, maybe. It's already 2.5 hours. I don't know if I want to extend this or just leave that roundedness go on. But I had to think about it. Okay, so I think this is kind of a good base design from different from my first concept. So this is like my second renewed There was others, but then this is like my a nice renewed concept now. I mean, I might change this whole section maybe, but not too bad. I need some more reworking. So I want a design I really want to go for. Same thing with Watson. Both of them got some good designs so far. I just have to decide how I want to vinylize their look. And it doesn't hurt to have a final decision eventually, and then like if I decide to change them or upgrade them later, that could also be another thing too. Because sometimes you have a single concept, and then you want to be a little more fluid and maybe try to upgrade them a little bit more if you want. So that's what I'm going for here. Yeah, so I think it looks all right. This is a good design so far. Yeah, very much different from, vast different from my very first concept right here. But similar. So it's similar like design. But I just those extensions would be like, that would have been like the whisker design if I wanted to go for that. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice little design thing. But yeah, if I were to like kind of give a bit of color to have a good maybe idea of how their design functions with the quads, with the rotors, it'll be though like it was like some blue tronic energy or something that I make up that kind of seems to power these things up from the Mouser. That's just my idea if I want to do something like that. And maybe have a little bit kind of also flowing through the ears a bit. Like something like that maybe. I'll have to think on that. Whereas the other one was kind of like, if I was doing with the whiskers, it was probably going to be like this. Yeah, similar concept. I don't know what the blue energy would be, or like some flow of energy inside that's in this specialized drone here that is able to connect with these raw rotors and stuff and so forth. Might be like a good blue energy that flows through this Mouser that's able to do some certain techniques I just had some thoughts in mind, like maybe for all offensive and defensive purposes, that blue energy Mouser is able to command it to do things. That'll be a nice concept. So that'll be a nice idea. I ought to think it over. But just to kind of give a little brief lore of who or what, or like what is Mouser, the Project Mouser, kind of like what I titled the stream. Project Mouser is not necessarily say like, oh yeah, this is exactly like intended to be like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be a mouse kind of drone, but its original name X0209 originated from a organization that have been developing drones for years, and they've come up with an idea of designing certain specialized drones that do more than just the typical photography and all filming and other kind of stuff that a lot of different drones may do, but kind of have like a combination, specialize in a combination of a few of those different capabilities, but also like one hidden involving the blue energy that I am now putting in my drone. Sort of like a field test of offensive and maybe even defensive capabilities. Of course, in the year 2, I'll say year 2XXX, sci-fi, futuristic. I'm in a futuristic, semi-futuristic world in a way. So I got like these drones, these technologies, so. The organization kind of got a lot of hot water, considering that, well, I mean, they ain't the only one that made drones, but it's just that some of their drones, well, some of this experimentation kind of, let's just say, when things land in the wrong hands, you kind of have an idea where things go from here. This capability of spying, blackmailing, all getting info and intel, blackmail, all kinds of things. And people getting hands on these particular types, and vice versa. And even those in the organization themselves kind of getting a little greedy, or kind of maybe finding ways to use such drones for specific purposes, if you know what I mean. I'm not surprised to this day there are probably some other drones like this one or so, probably in like a black market or underground somewhere. But let's just say that this drone right here was the one I stumbled upon when I was on a case where I kind of was wrapping up on a case that was kind of almost close to a desert region area. It was a bad case, good thing we solved it, but came across this place called Get In With The New, Out With The Old. That's their slogan kind of thing. Not exactly the name of it, but that's their slogan. Out with the old, in with the new. So, and mostly they have like a scrap heap for a lot of old tech. Kind of old world stuff, some new world, like the tech that just doesn't seem to quite function as well as they used to. Most of them, it's just scrap heap. The owner there, when I was there after having to deal with such a case, because there was a case that did involve coming to this scrap heap, and managed to make sure the owner understood that things were solved. Let's just say I heard some squeaks and discovered this little drone here. Kind of tilted sideways, tilted on its side, but kind of shaking a bit with little squeaks. Looks to be fairly damaged, but still active. And, you know, I inquired about this little drone guy, and the person did tell me that, yeah, it's apparently some special, unique kind of thing that pretty much only arrived here like a few days ago. almost a week ago, but like just a few days or some time ago. But it's just been there, and hadn't really not of interacting with it. He just left it alone, as if it. But it didn't seem like it made much sound at first. But then it just started, like just like yesterday or so. But he still was kind of wondering about it. He looked into it, and he was gonna take it, well, to Mr. Fix-It, whom I was glad to take it off his hands to take it to, because perhaps this drone could be of use. And well, here we are. We managed to get it fixed up, and now it's my own personalized drone piece. I decided to name it Mouser, because, well, you know, it just seems to squeak like a mouse from time to time. Don't know if it's part of its programming or it's just damaged and it just keeps making those sounds. But when I look at it, it kind of almost makes sense if this is specialized, designed to be almost like a mouse. Don't know if that was the intended design. When I asked Mr. Fix-It about very specialized drones, and he kind of knows a thing or two about most drones, and he's kind of told me that, you know, when they made these specialized types, they kind of had like different unique features about them, and this is one of them, like a mouse in a way. That's what this one is like. I wonder what the others were. But yep, this is it. This is my little buddy. This is right now he's, well, I wouldn't say part of quote unquote family. Ain't no family. It's just, you know, part of the office, part of the duties. The only time I ever need, I mean, he kind of likes to flow around and squeaks from time to time, but definitely good for gathering intel. I don't technically try to use it for, like, you know, let me use a spy, but like try to use it for, like, you know, help me with any evidence gathering or maybe slightly security watching sometimes. But yeah, well, maybe most of the time, but yeah, especially with his photography skills and, you know, being able to video capture picture, like able to do some stuff. I don't know where its capabilities of doing that is in drawing, you know, so I had to figure that out. I'm about to look at what do drones look like with cameras or certain pieces for image capture and stuff. But yeah, it was like, yeah, it's like a specialized drone. Maybe it was made for this look and design and on purpose. Probably because it probably used to be used to spy on or try to sneak in or try to get some info, whatever it is. But yeah, this little guy right here is my design, Mouser. Yep, so that's Mouser for you. But this is like my little lore I just came up with on the fly. So some of it was based on the understanding that there have been companies that do make drones, and then like what if they made certain specialized unique drones in the hush hush or in like a private experimentation, and then there are those who probably either got greedy or was just eager to try to take these for a spin in some way, maybe trying to use it for certain means that could land the company in hot water or any of this sort. Eventually, it would appear as though the company, according to records, may have had to cease operations of these specialized drones for obvious reasons. But then, of course, then again, who's to say they don't have some secret operations somewhere or anything of the sort or whatnot? Like, they could probably still have specialized drones around somewhere right now. Also, camouflage. Yeah, this drone is definitely good with camo. Remember, this is all fiction, folks. This is not real. So no conspiracy theories here. You know, you got people be like conspiracies. Conspiracy theories. Hear things like MK 11 or MK something. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, you had like people talking about like, you know, different conspiracies and stuff, but we're not doing that here. So this is just a fictional designed robotic buddy and partner of mine among my 2 other robots. So it's me developing my lore, my character, and those within my world. I mean, this eventually could lead me to the point where I might end up doing a bit of VTubing. Right now I'm PNG tubing, which is the case. But if I do decide to get like a live 2D, 3D model developed eventually, then you'll see me VTubing. But right now, this is just where I'm at. It is a good conceptual direction right now. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit of my lore. Now on to the news right now. I'm actually going to be, the cool part is I'm actually going to be, I now have my capture card, because beforehand I had issues with my capture card, where whenever I connect with a certain cord that belonged to my Elgato capture card, it wouldn't work. And the capture card was finally worn out, finally gave up. It kind of gave out. So I had to get me a new one. I got me another cord from Amazon. My dad had my pops help me get, we had another cord, but then that cord didn't work either, even though it appeared as though it transferred to the computer. But I'm like, okay, what's going on? But it kept saying, oh, it needs to be USB 3.0 type. I'm like, USB 3.0? Then eventually, later on, I eventually looked it up and found out that, yeah, you have to get, for my capture card, you have to actually get a USB 3.0 cable. They have to get that specific type. Now, if it was 3.1, maybe that could work, but it specifically worked with like 3.0. Maybe 3.1 could have worked too, but yeah. So the one I had wasn't 3.0. And it's the one that has like a blue colored end to the USB-A side, because it's a USB-C to USB-A type cable. So the USB-A type has to have like a blue colored interior part to the USB-A end of the cable for it to be 3.0 used typically. Maybe it might not have to be blue. I mean, it can still be other color, but still, as long as it's 3.0, that's the cable I needed. And I got it, and now I can literally get back to streaming on console easily. There was another method called the PS Remote Play method, but that kind of hampers down on the quality. Because when I was testing it, I saw like the quality of the visual was kind of very, very pixelated. This compared to if I was using the capture card, because the capture card will it's HD, so it'll definitely get like a good high HD 60s plus. It'll definitely get like a good high end quality. It'll give a good quality when I record. So that's what I'm talking about. So I'd rather have that than like the other method I was going to use. So that way I can have a clean, pristine view of the game. So then when I do my recording of my reactions, I'm going to be reacting with my PNG, of course. Now, could I react with my actual face? I mean, sure, if I want to, but I'm just going to do with my PNG. If I decide not to have my PNG and just react, you just hear my voice. But yeah, if you do it with the PNG, you're like, what? Eventually, I might probably design some expression type reactions to my PNG. So like moments when the hat is removed and I have my glowing blue azure eyes of truth showing. But if I want to do something where like, oh, I want to show myself getting upset or sad or going crazy or like, or be like freaking out like, what? Or looking disheveled or looking like I failed. Kind of. You know, I might have something like that. But I have to go through and design a lot of that for me to make that work. And there's a way to switch the expressions if I need to, thanks to the numpad for it. so I can do it. I just got to set that up, and then I can make it work. But I got to do the other drawings first for that to happen. Yeah, well, what did you think? Tell me what you think. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, this is kind of like just my projection so far, but eventually I'll, once I decide on how I want to go about designing this specialized drone thing, I'll definitely have a final look. I might even post it, I don't know, on the community post if I want to. Yeah, like a schematic imagery and details about this guy, this mousy fella. You know, just to kind of get my design flow going, you know. That's all. All right. Well, I think that's about covers that. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead because it's already like, yeah, it's about to be 5. I'm in my time. I'm about ready to. Yeah, I gotta get going. So I'm probably gonna yeah, I'm probably gonna end right here. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for today. I'm glad if y'all stuck around. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you like to see more. What this channel is all about. I know I'm doing like these art streams because I'm going to be getting back to gaming. But this is a gaming channel. And what I do is I both play video games where I get to share, record, and even share moments of gameplay, experience, and moments that are of highlight, of epicness and awesomeness at the same time. And then also video game analyses, almost like a essay, video game essay, or just a analytical observation of games, their themes and elements of their story, their lore, things of that occurrence. But I'll take my time and I'll figure out how the logistics of that one. There's one method I did see someone do, and that is slide method. In other words, either by PowerPoint or Google Slides, you know, and then like using imagery, using things to illustrate and show your points. There are some people who actually do it that way, and I think that would be nice. When I did it years ago, I did it with Rhyme. That was the first game I did it with. There were other games, but the way I approached it, I didn't really, because I was, at the time, I don't think I had a capture card yet. I don't think I had all this stuff. So I wasn't able to do the, when I was analyzing, when I was analyzing the story, like Liz with the book open, right? I didn't have the access to the slides and the PowerPoint stuff because I didn't really have a capture card. I was literally live streaming from my console directly. But actually, you know what? Yeah, that's what I was doing. I think eventually I did get to doing the capture card thing, but I still wasn't quite doing the PowerPoint stuff. But I'm going to do that. The old game I did a full analysis on was Rhyme, and that was looking at how the level design was designed purposefully to showcase and bring emphasis on the 4 or 5 stages of grief in a Rhyme, because that game definitely is focused on that element. But seeing how the levels, the stages were designed for that purpose was something was fascinating to me, and was one of the things that got me to appreciate level design in gaming even more, was to see that type of element in a game like that. If I were to go back to it and talk about that subject again, I would probably do PowerPoint presentation form. The reason why, anyway, because I mean, it took a long time of going through all that through live streaming, just gameplay and talking, which was kind of a nice showcase. And there were some people who didn't mind. There were some people who actually were fascinated by my analysis. But I would do it in a PowerPoint because that way, simplify it, get my imagery of the game, find points in the levels to illustrate how the design is built for that cycle of grief, why it's built that way, what it presents and what it says about that cycle. But it's not to prove the stages of grief. It's not to prove that, but just to kind of show how they use that concept when they came across to designing the levels. I would do it in a PowerPoint. It'll be easier for me to go over, read, and then I won't have to play the game. I already played the game enough to get the stuff I need. Like the first stage was denial, where he lands on the island, but the curiosity would be for me like, okay, well, how is the first stage, the island itself, denial? Like where in the level are the contact points, or the points of interest, as a detective would say, the clues that point to it representing the first cycle that is referred to as denial. But it's also important to me to understand, like, what was the concept of denial in the context of the stages, and then see how that definition or that meaning of that in those stages, defined by the person who came up with this cycle stuff and psychology, and then see how that could be clearly communicated or could be in some way represented in that stage. I would have to find good imagery or something to kind of illustrate that from the level. But it looks deceiving because when I played through that first level, I couldn't tell that the first stage was denial. Mainly because I wasn't aware until I started going through the next stages. So maybe that gave me understanding that denial could be that absence of mind on what really is the truth, what really is happening in the mind of the person, but it's like they don't, either they're trying to move their mind away from seeing what actually is going on, what actually has happened, and then trying to create like a shade or a shadow of paradise, like, oh yeah, no, everything's fine, with the flames around the house. So I think it's kind of almost nearly clever how they pulled that off. Because it tricks your mind. You don't think denial until you finally go through the next stages and you're like, wait a minute, this is the cycle. But it's like, you realize that, oh, but then you wonder, well, who's going through these stages? It's the kid or the father? You realize you could say it's the kid, but you could say it's the kid through the mind of the father. Because the father don't know what happened to the kid, other than he fell into the water when he tried to pull him up, and then, yeah. And it's a possibility the kid may have drowned, but, you know, you only have what you got. Yeah, so I like how this is looking so far. I mean, this is my first or second concepts right now. I might come up with a third concept or a fourth, maybe. Yeah, that blue energy might be something I think would be the specialized part about this drone. But I will come up with some really good analyses. Maybe I might consider the indie game that I have, Rhyme, and do analyses on that again with the PowerPoint presentation this time. Or just for practice, or just stick to the ones I have and then just think of, well, but I mean, if I'm not comfortable with doing a AAA game or anything, I can always do an indie game that I know I have as a starting point and then veer off from there. See how well I do with that. Whether it's old or new. Just kind of see like, or I could just do with Persona 5. I mean, I got some ideas for Persona 5. So, especially the whole heart desire concept in the game could be something worth exploring. But kind of like looking at how there's differentiation between having those good desires versus those bad or evil desires. That could be something I could explore. So there's like different things I could look at for analyses. Of course, if someone has any ideas for like, well, maybe you could analyze this. Now, what if it's a character analysis? I mean, I don't know about character analyses. I mean, character profiling and analyses, like a detective. Let me get a profile on this character. I mean, it would depend on like, well, what kind of theme or idea is centered around this character that I could look at. I mean, you can look at info around this character, but then what's the point of creation and purpose of this character's existence in this gaming world that they're in, and what are they fulfilling and why, and what could be the central theme or idea that this character seems to perpetuate. So that's what I would look at if someone had a character in mind. Mostly the games is RPGs and JRPGs, so those are the ones I would be looking at. But I am going to do indie, even if it's a little bit of horror here and there, just a little bit of other genres. Because I might still have a slight variety here. Okay. Now, I will be honest, I'm not on Kick and I'm not on Twitch. I'm on YouTube mainly. Now, could I stream a little bit on Twitch? I don't know about Kick. But, maybe Kick, but would I want to stream on Twitch? I mean, not at the moment right now, but if I decide to do a surprise stream on Twitch, I mean, hey, if anybody's on Twitch, you will see me on there. But it'll be like maybe like a moment on a weekend where I might try to do a stream, maybe an art stream or just gameplay stream, however I want to do about it. I might present my Mouser there, or my Watson bot. People, I'll feel hearing my little tales of the robots that I have. It'll be interesting, though, to test out my current equipment and setup and everything on Twitch. That would be really interesting for me to test out. And that's what I'm going to want to do. I might try test that out. Just for fun. There's no definitive scheduling for me on Twitch, but there might be like a moment of streaming on Twitch, and then maybe like if I decide to come up with like some kind of schedule, yeah, I might come up with that. But I mean, it'll be letting people know like, yo, I'm mostly on the YouTube, bro. I mean, I'm not on Twitch as often like I was before, many years ago, but I am mostly on Twitch if you want to find me. But I might come on Twitch once a blue moon, maybe like a little bit here or there, but it may not be like every week or every day. Ain't that right, Mooser? Got a little silent there, huh? Watch, you about to make a sound. See? You try to sneak a sound on me, huh? Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Yeah, it'll be cool having a lore of like the specialized drones that kind of look a little odd or weird, or and then this one happens to look like almost like a mouse. That'll be cute. Real funny. Interesting lore. Okay. Well, Haseo, thank you for dropping by my stream as always. Y'all take care. Have a good night. Good rest of your day. rest of your evening, rest of your night. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream today. So, be seeing y'all later. And for those who are detective trainees, detectives in training, young detectives, young private eyes, see you around. Tomorrow I'll be, I think my schedule, it'll work. Yeah, because tomorrow I'm going to be streaming, getting back to streaming Ease 10 Nordics. So I need to get that thumbnail and stuff ready and all that. All right then, folks. Take care. Case is, well, there's no case today. It's just my archery. I'm just drawing. Ain't no case. Ain't no case with the drawing. It's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. All right. Let's just get out of here. All right. Peace out, folks. Later. Hold up. Wait. Where did Mouser go? Mouser. Where did that guy go? I was gonna leave, and then now I'm finding out Rouson's telling me Mouser is forming around the office again. Mouser, where in the world are you? Okay. There you are. All right, now I'm gonna leave. Sheesh Louise, Mouser. Don't scare me like that. It's enough of that to keep this office clean and organized, for crying out loud. All right, now I'm gonna go in. Watson, just give an eye to Mouser. You don't want to roam around too much. It's literally a mouse. Just saying. All right, let's get out of here.